first of all, I was just about to do an experiment and look at because our night moves were just beginning from what we discussed.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of the beginning of, we said, oh, well, I have to make these moves because I realized I couldn't even feel the lineup. Well, boy, did I feel the lineup, but I had to go to Daddy Waiverbucks.
You had to go to Daddy Waiverbucks too.
And we all knew I was going to have to go to Dad. I mean, that's the way this musical ends. I was little orphan Annie, and I was going to have to see Daddy Waiverbucks at some point. But did I have to? If you look at the final score, did I? The sick thing is I actually didn't have to.
The sick thing is you didn't have to do a thing. Most weeks there won't be any waiver moves. We only get 5 each a season.
That's right.
I wavered Nico Collins. You took Kamara and Neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
The Neighbors did not get better from his concussion. So then you used your final 5th waiver to pick up Aaron Jones and then called Daddy Waiverbucks and then traded me Malik Neighbors for your 6th waiver, who you then used to pick up DK Metcalf. You're now completely out of waivers.
I'm done. I'm tapped out on every possible waiver.
You won the week, but stunningly, you would have won the week anyway, even if you took 3 zeros.
If I goosed, if I allowed my moves, if I just stood pat.
Yeah.
Because I texted you, I said, something that I'm stewing over here is, do I just is Neighbors a better play to just have him on my roster? And I was assuming even if I lost.
Right.
I was like, well, even if I have to take an L, but I get to keep Neighbors, and if I can keep the points reasonable, because they already were, I was only down, 9, 10 points. I figured if I could keep it within 15 to 20 points and I'm at 2 and 3, is that worth Neighbors? Well,
it's arguable.
It was arguable. What's not arguable is it's certainly worth Neighbors with a win by 30 some points or whatever it is.
You'd certainly rather have Neighbors than Aaron Jones in this moment.
I really would. No, I mean, it's really been kind of disgusting. There's going to be, I feel like years from now, there'll be Neighbors big sloppy jerseys going for sale on eBay, where they'll be like, do you remember those 8 hours where Neighbors was a member of Big Sloppy? It's like when Eli was drafted, the Eli, what do you call draft?
Yeah, the Eli Rivers.
Rivers
That's what
draft,
it was like.
yeah. We're going to see that memorabilia come up where they're like, oh yes, that one time Neighbors did a quick stop off at Big Sloppy and then was out the door.
I mean, I've honestly wanted Neighbors all year, so I was happy.
I knew you did.
Daddy Waiverbucks was happy to come in and.
I mean, Daddy Waiverbucks was just licking his chops.
I was. I do think in the moment it was theoretically mutually beneficial.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't know that Lamar Jackson and Jamar Chase were going to combine for 3,000 points this week, and you wouldn't need them. But I do think you did the right thing. You don't want to just punt the week away. It's kind of insane that you would have won with 3 zeros. Plus 3 zeros that do not include playing Mark Andrews. So it really would have felt like
that did not include Mr. Goose himself,
who had a decent game.
He was there. We can now confirm he was there.
At this point, 9 points for Mark Andrews. You got to feel like $1 million about that.
I do. I mean, I really did. I had to do a double take on that. I was like, wait, he caught a ball. A win is still a win no matter what. But I did feel what. On this one, I still was a little bit like, it felt a little wonky just because of the fact that I let go of Neighbors.
It's a weird moment. So you're 3 and 2. You have like a roughly 25-point lead.
Mm-hmm.
You're undefeated since cutting McCaffrey live on our episode a few weeks ago.
That's right.
You just cut him, did not pick anyone else up. It was the best move you've made all season.
Maybe the best move I've made in the history of this league, frankly.
And you're getting all your best players back next week.
Yes.
But you're also completely out of moves. So you have no ability to either pick up anyone that emerges or just pick up. I mean, the main thing is being able to pick up someone if your team continues to fall prey to the rot and injury luck you've already had. And so you're in a kind of precarious situation, yet you're winning. It's just more like week 18 whispers because it just feels pretty tied. I feel like we're just if Vegas was doing odds for this, I feel like it's a dead even heat.
It is a coin flip. I agree with that. I think that's a perfect assessment. I think I needed this win.
It was looking like I was going to cruise.
Yes.
And then kind of shockingly, the Ravens and the Bengals have this unreal high-scoring affair where...
That was the week right there. That shootout was it. What's funny is this is just another addition to the times that my 12 team has beat my 2-man team. I have Frosty Tip Burrows, and Chase in my 12 team. And so they went off, they combined for like 100 points.
You had Chase and Burrows. Wow.
I have Chase and Burrows
That's
in my 12 team. Yeah,
insane.
no, I put up a week.
And you also have Kirkland Cousins on your bench who had
Kirkland had a monster week. I felt bad about, then I didn't feel so bad about it.
Yeah.
Frosty tips Kirkland. I mean, it's like Burrows is Costco and Kirkland is Kirkland. Or maybe Burrows is old school Sam's Club. I don't know what he is. Is he Target? Who is he? He's trying to be hip. He might be Target.
I mean, Burrows, like, he was a number one pick. He's got the blonde hair. He's Whole Foods, right?
He's Whole Foods. You're right. He is. Yes.
He's Whole Foods.
Yep.
And then, you buy a $12 pack of pasta, and then you're just like, this isn't that good.
This isn't great.
Why did this cost $12? I'm
Why
going to
does
go
this take
to
twice
I'm
as
going to
long
go
to
to
cook?
Costco and get the Kirkland ramen noodles that are
Yes.
absolutely fantastic.
They're phenomenal. They'll fill me up. They'll do the job. Just another one to the 12 team beats the 2 team. Like none of this. This is all just silliness and fun. But hard not to get emotionally invested when you're staring down the barrel of 0 waivers. As Daddy Waiverbucks you licked your thumbs as you were counting those waivers as you walked away.
Daddy Waiverbucks did.
I mean, it was a gross scene, but I knew it had to happen.
The thing is, if you're going to do anything, you have to do all of it. It doesn't make sense to burn your 5th waiver and then have an open spot. It's just like you either punt it or you.
Tom, that's exactly where I was. That's where my head was at. I was thinking like there's no half in on this. Either I'm trying to win the week and I do whatever I can to get there, or I just punt and I say
exactly
I'm not going to do any of this. But it felt weird to just completely punt when we were tied at 2-2.
Oh man, if you had punted, I would have been so tilted.
I mean, can you imagine if I had punted and I won?
Oh my God, what's the?
I mean, we would be closer in points, obviously.
You would have won by like 9 points.
So so we'd be almost dead even in points.
Oh my goodness! If you had punted, we really would be. We would be completely tied.
Completely tied.
You would be
points.
You would be up a win, and we would be within 1 point.
I mean, I'm just gonna say it. This season has Week 18 whispers written all over it.
It does.
So Bijan has 10 more points than Breece Hall. But I'm just looking at these two. Now, these were the 2 guys. So we're gonna go from the McCaff bomb. We're coming down from him. These are the next 2 running backs taken.
Yeah, and if you put the 3 of them together, these are the guys that are on a tier by themselves. If you can get one of these guys, get them, and you'll have a big advantage.
And you have like 8 guys, 8 other running backs ahead of those 3.
You'd rather have basically all the top receivers over them. And 1,000,000% you'd rather have Derrick Henry, who...
God, yes.
Derrick Henry is just the guy for years and years. The fantasy experts collective, they're just like, don't draft Derrick Henry. He's too old. He doesn't catch passes.
Yep.
And
they've been saying
every
that for 5
single
years
year
now.
he's a top 5 back. It's very mystifying to watch. People continue to not believe in him when he's clearly like maybe the GOAT of running backs.
He's might be
unbelievable.
I mean, of the last half decade, he's absolutely been the guy in fantasy. You cannot go wrong with him.
Yeah,
reliable. Even though he goes between the tackles, he misses some time here and there, but not much.
And it's true he doesn't catch passes, but it doesn't matter when he runs for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, you don't need the passes. No, anyone who says anything with any sort of confidence is a clown. Like I immediately just say it's a clown show when you're going to the experts preseason, as we've proven time and time again. Also, huge shout out to Cat Piss once again. I mean, this will be cut, but 76. I mean, Cat Piss is starting to get in. Cat Piss is hunting for triple digits.
Unbelievable.
With a 23 spot for Juju Smith-Schuster. And they have their defense outscoring, our starting squads. They got New England putting up a 17.
Yahoo only lets you have a minimum of 4 teams. So Murph and I each have a fake team. My fake team is Cat Piss. Murph's fake team is Dog Dick. And Cat Piss is, pound for pound, Cat Piss is the best team in the league by far.
Cat Piss is having a year with the kind of handicap that Cat Piss gets put on it at the beginning of the season. Doesn't even get a whiff of the draft.
Oh my goodness.
Respectable.
Murph, Cat Piss has not 1, but 2 players this week that outscored my highest scoring player.
Okay. Well,
Justin Fields and Juju Smith-Schuster outscored my entire team.
Your entire team. Now this is one of those you clock in the books for two-man. This is what the two-man exposes in the world of fantasy football. We give them almost the worst of the worst just to be like, who's left? Who would we not touch in those first few weeks? We go, oh, these guys have no place on a roster. And we send them over to Cat Piss and Dog Dick. And Cat Piss has 2 players who have outscored any player on your entire team. I mean, this is what we're dealing with here.
Do you know Daniel Jones is outscoring Jalen Hurts this year?
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that on any level. I don't want to hear that in fantasy or reality.
Murph, we've never had this either. Going into week 6, you're out of waivers. I have 4 of them.
Yeah, I don't hate my team, I will say, but the wiggle room, having zero wiggle room makes me ooh.
It's precarious.
It's snug. It's a snug love. I do love it, but goddamn is it snug. Well, I'm open to talks as the week peels away here. Where are we? Tuesday? Yeah, we got 2. I mean, the one thing I will say, for as much as I hate this muck Thursday night, it's like these weeks just fly. Yet you basically have 2 days.
And then
right?
and then on Sunday there was games going on from like 3 a.m. to 3 a.m. It was fucking it was ridiculous.
Yeah, West Coast time. I was stirring in the night to take my first night piss, and I was like, wait, is there a game going on right now?
Tolbert caught the winning touchdown when all of our children were waking up for the morning.
Yes. Absurd. An absurd schedule. No wonder
it was like a DCM schedule.
It was, yes. No, that Thursday night bit show. That is absolutely a bit show.
It's a bit show.
London gets a bit show for sure.
Congrats on a third straight sloppy victory.
Thanks, brother. And I know we say it every week, but this is an unprecedented season in two-man dance, and I would prefer. I know we don't want to keep saying. I'm not even going to whisper, but we know.
I mean, we're already saying it. We can
we're saying
we can let go of the.
I think this is too strong to jinx.
It's more fun to talk about than not talk about,
because there's nothing we can do as men of this physical realm. There's nothing we can do to prevent, to deny. There's nothing. It is what it is. The die have been cast.
We've been desperate for this Week 18 replacements game since that idea happened, and
oh God, yeah,
we've never been close
until now.